The group finally meet Asta's friend Henry, who goes by the name of Seeker, and informs him of his friend's passing. Seeker takes the news of Asta and the book quite badly, but also inadvertently reveals that he too has a connection to the crystal. Now what are they going to do? I guess you're about to find out. This is The Sprouting. Chapter 1, The Meeting of Souls, Part 8. So, for the sake of everyone listening, Travis has been caught up on what Henry saw. You hear the sounds, for everyone who isn't watching the recordings that Ralph had made. You hear the sounds of people moving up and down the stairs outside, but they're not coming in. Obviously, the companion, the bodyguard that Seeker had has come and gone upstairs, and you hear more people moving up and down, but they're not coming to you right now, at least.
Sully's gonna at least put his shotgun somewhere where he knows and can access it relatively easily. He's not doing it menacingly wise. He's just placing his bag so the shotgun's out, it's within arm's reach. He's gonna place himself by a table or something he can throw over, because this has turned much more serious than he wanted. And now not only does Ash, the mayor, have a good reason to get us killed, not have to pay us, but now we're magic and bullshit and something's starting to feel unwelcome in this town.
Mm-hmm. I think that's wise. That's definitely an option.
Taking off the headset. Last question, and then I have proposals for you, potentially. You're not, as your expression, not a marriage proposal, but a job proposal.
I assumed.
You're very nice, but does the name Armin mean anything to you?
Ralph, you could take a history. You could take a history or a computer use.
A computer use?
Yes.
A computer use, you say?
So there is a backstory. Sorry, there is a footnote that we recorded where a different name came up. And if you had done any searching on that, the name Armin may be associated with that. So it would be a computer use. Or you can take history either. It's your choice. This is a retroactive thing.
Ooh. 49 versus 50 on computer use.
Woo!
Yeah, boys.
Success, but
in.
barely. Whoa.
Researching into the name Nazir, you also found it very, very quickly linked with the name Armin. And it seems to be describing creatures, very specific creatures that are composed of different types of vines. One of them is described as being really, really big. The other is kind of described as being really thin and lanky, kind of vine-wise. And they seem to have those mirrored faces. They seem to use weapons. It's very interlinked, but that's kind of from a basic computer use of what did I remember seeing back in the day. That's kind of the rough idea of what you get.
So Armand is these plant things?
So Armin and Nazir, which is the other name that would have appeared to you.
Okay.
Those two names are kind of linked together. You don't ever find out the name of the creature, but they are names.
Yeah.
We don't call everyone human. We give them individual names, and Nazir and Armin are individual names for whatever these creatures are, but they seem to be quite linked together.
I recognize the name.
I think you may have potentially seen it. As you described the red in the sky, that potentially could have been it. I would know if I saw it again for sure, but I only saw it as a really short glance while running very fast and then getting on a horse. But Yeah. That's the thing that my family summoned.
The mirror things. So, okay, hold on. The mirror thing from down in the vault that is now dead. The other one came? Is that what came? To get the book?
Lark didn't see any mirror features on the plant that came to retrieve the book, no.
Okay. The name is usually tied with another.
Do I know this?
No.
Oh. What's it usually tied to?
Nazir?
I'm just gonna nod. What is that? Another similar thing, or is that something you have more of a personal encounter of knowledge of in some way?
Something I've come across before in databasing, cataloging information and such.
Cataloging is important work, I understand. So as I was mentioning, I was going to try and barter some stuff for you guys. You seem altruistic, and that book could be the key to stopping some of this, maybe all of this. I don't know. But if we can't find it and we can't get it directly, I think the Coven is the next answer. And if you can get us to the Coven, I can get you things from Ash. Ash would be happy to give you things on our behalf of our village, because we'd be working for the betterment of everyone.
I hate doing this, but Henry, what you're intending to do, is it good for you, or is it good for everybody? And you're being stared down right now.
Everything I've done in my entire life since leaving that place has been for the good of all.
I don't want to roll. I just kind of want to believe you.
He is the smooth talkingest of smooth talkers as well. Like, he seems really scared and also like trying to bare his soul to you in that kind of way. And his eyes are a little bit watery. Like, and his friend just died, so he's a little extra teary.
Yeah.
We risked everything to try and do what's right. He was not allowed here because he went down a path to try and find a way to stop it, and he thought that was genuinely the only way to stop it. Yeah, and I've been doing what I can to supply him and get him anything he needed. I know that's not maybe what you were hoping to hear, but you've got the backup cultist, ex-cultist. You don't have the real deal helping you out. I'm sorry, but if you'll accompany me to this Coven, I'm sure we can sort things out and find the book and do something with it. I don't know what, but it'll be better than doing nothing.
Indeed. You would like us to escort you to the Covens?
Yes, that would, and then to wherever they tell us to go from there. The wickedness of the world will not harm me in terms of things that are like the world. But when it comes to people, I don't do so well. And there are a lot of them out there. And they are not always so friendly as you pointed out. So I do need your help.
You hear footsteps very rapidly approaching the door.
Sully, takes a position ready to roll that goddamn table over.
Very close next to his shotgun. Yeah. The door flies open and you see your bodyguard companion and Ash, the kind of mayor of this town, the leader. Ash is in front and just kind of has the door slammed open, and he's standing quite tall. He looks quite tired. It's kind of annoyance across his face.
Excuse me, Ash, I'm so sorry.
Enough out of you.
And he looks to the others.
Why did you not tell me there was danger in the burrow?
There was no danger when we left it.
My friend here says the description you gave the Seeker here, including crystallizing people. I sent people over there! They do not know what is waiting for them!
We walked on the crystal. It was It was safe after the crystal stopped. We went back down in the burrow and everything.
Why would you not warn us?
If your people stay at the border long enough, they'll see wildlife running around on the borders. They'll know the crystal is safe if they stay long enough and look at it.
Fine. Is there anything else we should know before the bulk of my people make it there? I can perhaps send people after them to let them know the true extent of what they're walking into. Anything else we need to know?
There are hollow crests in the mountains, like everywhere else. There's a dead creature down in the basement, in the burrow. I killed it myself.
Okay. Don't let me find any other surprises.
Was I misremembering in thinking that the burrow is kind of sealed off from something? It would take people to get in there and unseal the parts of it that were messed up.
Yeah. So like the one like you all would have seen it.
You said like
also,
40 people
Henry
or
would have seen
something.
it through. Yeah, like the kind of the door that is leading to where all of the magical stuff and where all of the like the important looking notes are, where the diary was, where the journal was.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of stuck because there's no power, and there's a giant fuck off huge creature that's kind of stuck in it. So it's very difficult to get open, and it's not something that you guys would be able to do easily on your own. So yeah, it'd be like a team of people that would have to open that.
Would Sully have mentioned that when he was describing where the location was? Just like, yeah, grab tools with you, pickaxes, hammers. Like, you might need to wet some things open, break some things.
Yeah, you probably could have definitely have told them that, but he probably wouldn't have sent them with it. They just want to go check because it's quicker for them just to go in and come back than it is like, we'll deal with looting it. If it's real, then fine, but if not.
All right.
By the way, Aether, out of character, you also picked up like a little flower made of crystal. You could have just showed them. It's safe to take something.
Oh, yeah, good point. Yeah, well, it's my flower. Fuck off.
It's my shit now, motherfucker.
No, it's a good point, actually. Why don't you Lark just get it out of his bag? Like,
I'm not touching your bag.
Okay.
I have a bag of my own, and I know how important a bag is.
Even if there are no other surprises, you are on thin ice. So, what do you want, Seeker?
So, on the topic of thin ice, they have a lead for something very important that could be incredibly helpful for the defense of all, ours included, and it could be something that could save many lives. I was going to ask if you could perhaps commission them to escort me safely to that thing. And
I need more specifics. What is this?
It's a journal. It's a journal. It's a book. It's got pages and text on it. I don't know the details, but my friend died trying to get it and lost his life in the pursuit of it. And that is about as specific as I understand it, and it could change the world for the better. I know that sounds dramatic, but...
Yes, it is dramatic.
Master we're talking about was dramatic, and he didn't lie about those things.
Take a persuasion roll for me, please, Travis.
I will. I will try and find it on my character sheet. It's not charm, it's persuasion. There we go.
Charm, sorry.
I just rolled persuasion, and I rolled really good.
Oh, damn boy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, persuasion's fine.
Whoa.
You're not
what do you
charming him.
mean you're not a people's person? 60 persuasion?
I can persuade people because I whine. Please.
Provided that our people get home tomorrow. They left already. Then I will consent to this.
They're traveling in the dark?
They're on a boat.
Is that safe in the dark? I've never traveled by boat.
It is relatively safe enough for them, yes.
Do the plants not like the water here? The plants don't like the salt water.
Generally, they are not a fan of it. Some do, yes, but not many. Especially not the bottom of our lake for some reason. We're not sure why.
was the same on Driftwood. They say to looking up to Sully.
Okay.
Driftwood.
You know of it?
I have heard of it in context with other things. Nothing more than that, I'm afraid.
Yeah. Kids looking for it. It's where they came from.
Then I am sorry. I cannot be much more help.
You've been no help. Why don't you at least give us the context you heard it in?
How about I don't?
Typical.
I heard it in the context that when people come to the cradle from far away, and if they take a sea voyage of many months, they usually end up somewhere near Driftwood.
Oh, that explains why I've seen so many boats pass by there.
Probably, yes.
Is there a place where we can go to where we can see those boats that come here from far away?
The thing is, Lark, I do not know where it is. I don't even know how far the coast to the south is.
Okay. Thank you.
You are welcome.
And gives you a smile and then turns to Sully with a definite frown.
Aether's smiling, but Sully's not.
Just to restate, I'll be traveling with them to figure out the thing, because that's my specialty, is figuring out these sorts of things and making sure it's not dangerous.
I expected nothing less.
I'll return with findings and answers, and if it's a dead end, I will apologize profusely, but I will have seen it to the end, and I'll find the next.
There is a woman coming through tomorrow. I do not normally allow her to come in. Perhaps it would be good for you to meet with her. She has a lot of knowledge about the weird and the plants. She's traveled a lot, and she comes through here regularly. And I know she's coming tomorrow. To trade, restock, trade information. She might be a good person to start with on this kind of thing.
And what's her name? I'm sorry.
Her name is Lillian.
Thank you.
Okay.
He kind of turns on his heel and just walks away, but he definitely doesn't close the door. And the bodyguard kind of is still standing opposite the room, just arms crossed, leaning back against the wall with a look on his face.
Well, I hope you all have a pleasant evening. I guess I'll see you around sunrise. I've got some chores to tend to, and I need some time to do my chores. I'll see you tomorrow morning.
It would be a 3 days journey to a coven.
Don't worry. I'll make sure that he's suitably packed up.
I may be willing to guide you, but they have their own opinions. We'll talk about it more tomorrow.
I look at Lark we could throw in some pretty good food.
Can you throw in some grapes?
I look to the guard
Of course we've got grapes, yeah.
Yeah.
Some grapes.
Then I'm
Been a
there.
bit in Italy, of course we've got grapes.
Yeah.
What is Italy?
The cradle used to be known as that. Stupid shit.
Yeah, we'll sort out grapes.
I'll come for the grapes.
Okay. That's fair. And then Ralph, I don't really know what I could say that would mean much to you, except that it would be a wealth of knowledge that you won't find anywhere else.
I'm certainly interested. I don't know how useful anything that I do can be to all the magic stuff. But I have a lot of old information. Most of it from regular places with no secrets and all the like. But who knows? Maybe there's something I don't know. There's a lot of data in there. It's impossible to go through it all. It's all cataloged with an AI, so anything I find, we can search and see, but that's all I can offer. I am interested, though. And how far is this?
You said 3 days, right, V?
Yeah.
In which direction?
East.
What's the name of the place?
I believe the witches call it Gumpendorf.
I'm guessing that's probably not somewhere I've been.
Probably not.
Yeah.
They definitely, they wouldn't know. Like, this is definitely new news to you for sure. You would definitely not know of this. Maybe Lark, you may have like passed by maybe like 1 or 2 nights with them and then moved on. That's a big maybe if you decided to climb a big fuck.
The question is, have I remembered the name? It's not like
yes, and the answer
they would
be
go
zero.
into the place and be like, "Hey, what's this place called?"
They don't have a sign saying made up German name here. No, it wouldn't be relevant either. Anyway, you may have passed through them, but you wouldn't know the name. And as for Seeker, you probably would have heard of, like, in the local area that there is like a coven of witches. You wouldn't know exactly where they were or what they call themselves, but you know, with enough prodding and poking, you could probably get someone, enough nagging and persuading, you could probably get someone to tell you roughly where and what it is, but like, they just, yeah.
He's too depressed right now. He's going to be like kind of quietly sobbing for a bit and then like trying to pick himself up to start packing for a trip that is dangerous and scary.
Yeah. It's not nice out there. Ask these guys. Ask how many sanity checks they have before they actually even get to you.
You can smell the freshly cut grass on them.
I bet those assholes go out and touch grass all the time.
Oh, God.
Well, I've never been there. I'm interested in seeing out the book, if we can find any information on it, or if I can be of any assistance involving it, but no promises. He shrugs. He knows what he's good at, and Sully knows what he's good at, and it's not guns. So, like, I'm here. I'm trying to cover for the fact that I'm mostly a burden.
Your metal bird is very useful.
Yeah. From time to time.
I'll try and insight that just to try and psychology to see if I can catch the subtext there. 20.
Yeah. You look at his sneakers and his socks are, not incredibly dirty for a traveler. He seems, he looks like he's from somewhere. He definitely
doesn't have much of a suntan.
Yeah.
Seeker sees a kindred spirit and feels a little more heartened about this trip. Like, okay, I'm not the only one. This is maybe going to be okay. Well, see you guys later. If you need anything, yell. And he shuffles off.
Yeah. Your guard goes with you and basically helps to set you up of like making sure you have enough good socks when you realize that she does it. Like he basically takes care of you to make sure you have some stuff because he sees how fucking wrecked you are. And his heart just goes out to you. And also you may sense a little bit of guilt that he ratted you out on what you were talking about to the boss man. Even though you kind of asked him to help. So yeah, like he's doing his best to help you out, and he finds you a machete that is not that has a really good sheath, so you don't hurt yourself quite so much. So you can add machete to your character sheet.
I'll do that. Yeah. And lastly, I'll thank him and try and get a message out to Tubbs that won't make it to poker.
Yeah. He says he'll pass that message along.
Poor Tubbs.
This time. Okay. That's Seeker settled down for the night. Lark, Ralph, Sully.
Sully is going to take a chair and he's going to wedge it against that goddamn door because 2 people have burst through that goddamn door. And it's just like, his paranoia is getting the better of him right now.
Do we have a window in that room?
Yeah.
Then a Lark is definitely like going to the window and opening it. Like, first of all, there's been a lot of people in this room, airing out the room a bit, and then they're taking out the compass and they open it up, look at it, and then they turn to Sully and say, "Where do you think north is?"
Can Sully see the sun from the window?
Yeah, you can go to the window and see where it is. Yeah, why not?
I would like to say that Sully can kind of see where the sun is even from not going to the window. So it's even more like oh yeah, north
Magic.
is over there. And yeah, Sully's going to assume that the sun sets in the west, which means north would be over there.
Yeah. For now, when you look at it, it seems to be pointing in the same direction that Sully is.
You're right. And they close the compass and put it back in the bag.
You're more cheerful about me crushing your childhood dreams than I expected.
I just got promised some grapes.
Oh, okay.
Santa can't fit down that chimney. Looks at chimney. You're right.
Ralph, I'm going to ask you to roll 2d10 for your battery use, because you can set it up to play and play back videos, etc.
Okay.
So I'd like you to use 2d10 of your battery life, please. And provided there isn't too many shenanigans tomorrow on your walkout, you should be able to fully recharge over the course of a bit of a day.
All right. Sully's gonna set up for the night, but he kind of wants to address the other two in the room before he gives up for the night.
Yeah.
It sounds like you two wanna help. What did he say his name was? Seeker?
Henry Seeker? He
Yeah.
says both names.
Yeah. I'll ask him which one he wants to be referred by, but yeah, Henry, you seem to want to help him. It's not a journey I was expecting to take, and I would much rather start moving towards Sleepy Street to get the message out for my brother, but I don't know, I think I have this feeling that he's trying to do good, and it sounds like he's been doing good here, and I would like to help him. And if you guys join along for your own wants or reasons, then that's fine, but if not, then I would appreciate it. But Lark, it is dangerous out there, and
No. I've been out there before.
yeah, you have. Just don't want to be dragging you out of the safety of towns without cause. I'm sure that Ash would let you set up here while we try to figure out where Roland went, if you want to.
It's a little noisy here. I don't like the noise too much.
There's a kindred nod to Sully when you say that. She's like, I get you. And yeah, I'd also appreciate you there, Ralph. While I may get a good feeling about Seeker, I am not a perfect judge of character. And if he pulls any funny business, I would appreciate having more people on my side.
Well, like I said, I've only come out to help anyways, so as long as there's something seemingly important going on, like I said, I want to see out this book, and Sleepy Street's around up where I'm about anyways, so it wouldn't be too much of a, hassle for us to stay together at least until Sleepy Street.
I would appreciate that. I'll be sure to. If you want to, I can give you a couple of seeds. You can absolutely trade those. I know they're not information, but they are worthwhile. And
I usually don't kind of take payment for services right away or anything like that. It's kind of just, making friends and call on you if you need you type thing, and vice versa.
I know. I've heard good things about your work in the past.
Good to hear.
Yeah, you are the man to go to when you need to crack open an old tractor to get working again. It's good to have people like you around.
Got a lot of old information on tractors.
With that, Sully's more than happy to go to his bedroom.
Yep.
Use the disengage
okay.
action.
We disengage. Lark,
Yeah.
do you choose to dream tonight?
Yeah, because Bree.
Your eyes flicker open. All around you is emptiness. The sky is still purple, the ground is still blue. But it seems to be like an expanse of nothingness around you. There seems to be nothing really at the horizon as you spin around. Like, maybe you see a cliff face very, very far off in one distance, but you see nothing. You see right next to you, as you're looking around and wondering, you see a hand shooting up out of the ground.
Oh, they jumped to the side.
You see the hand kind of like open wide and like pull itself back down, and you see someone beginning to like crawl out of the ground and just pull themselves upright. They seem to be a person made of dark red and orange vines, and you see them like lifting themselves up and shaking their head, and the more they shake their head, the more of the dirt that they begin to shake off. You can see that their skin is like slowly forming, and before you is Bree.
Bree!
She's on her hands and knees and she is gasping for air.
Oh, Lark is going down on their knee and making sure that, like trying to help her breathe.
Yeah. Yeah, like you can like definitely like roll them to one side so she has like a little bit easier time. Just she can collapse a little bit.
Patting their back, like like when you have a cough or whatever. yeah, like coughing up the last of the blue dirt that's coming out of her mouth for sure. Yeah, and she's just kind of like breathing very heavily, and like she just kind of like leans back against you. Are you all right?
She shakes her head.
What happened? This has never happened before.
I don't know. This place is getting worse.
Yeah. Bree, I know we never have a lot of time to talk to each other, but I have a question for you. Do you know someone named Sully?
She like closes her eyes but nods. Yeah.
Do you remember what he gave you for your 8th and 9th birthday?
She kind of like smiles a little bit, but she doesn't really open her eyes, and she says, "Yeah, when I was 8, he got me a bracelet, and still have it actually. It's an anklet now. I did some links to it. It has a little note on it. But he wasn't around when I was 9. He'd left.
I've met someone named Sully, and he says he knows someone named Bree.
I know this is all a lie. I know
you keep saying that. I know you keep saying that, but it's not true. It's real. I'm real. I think. I think
she kind of like
real.
She puts like a hand on top of yours, and she like holds it. She says, "You're real enough in here, and that's fine. Lie to me.
Real.
Tell me Sully's fine. That's obviously what I need to hear right now."
Do you want me to pass on a message, or he seemed like he wanted to, like he is looking for you, and he lost you?
No, he left. He chose to leave. He didn't lose us. He knew where we were.
Where are you now? I mean, can you tell me? Maybe we.
Other than here.
Yeah, outside, outside the dream. When we're not here.
We're at the mountains at the south, trying to find a lab.
Is there a place that has a name that we could look for?
I don't know what it's called, but there are funny little robots there, and plants are crazy. Aren't they everywhere?
If I can, I can prove to you that this is all real, that I'm real, that Roland is real. And then we can maybe do exercises together. You seem like you really need those exercises.
She, sits up and she turns around, she's still sitting on her knees, and she says, if you're real, then if Sully's real and he's with you, then ask him to tell you something that only my dad would know. Not me, not you, because if this isn't real, then you know everything that I know, so that doesn't make sense, so...
Okay, yeah, I will ask him. If we see each other again, I will tell you.
Good. But... If he's real, tell him not to come find us.
Why?
I told Dad that he was dead.
Oh.
This seemed like a good idea at the time.
Okay.
And what about you? If you're real, are you okay?
I am for now. I haven't seen any of the holocrests in a day.
That's good.
Yeah.
And
but I'm still looking for driftwood though. But Sully told me that it would be in the south, so maybe I'll go in your general direction anyway.
Yeah. And I'll ask my dad if he knows about driftwood.
Is your dad with you?
Yeah. Yeah, he can't go anywhere without me. He's not meant for the world. Not as it is, anyway.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
It did seem like Sully really wanted to see his brother. Do you mind if I tell him?
Yeah, but if he's real, just tell him not to come. It wouldn't do Dad any good. And if he cares, not that I think he does, but if he actually cares, then don't come.
I will tell him, but it's going to be his decision.
I guess I just have to hope that you're not really real.
Well, I do want to prove to you that I'm real.
It would be good. This place wouldn't suck quite so hard.
This place doesn't suck because you're here, because I know that you're always waiting here.
Yeah. It's really bad when you're not here.
It is. I feel the same when you're not here.
Yeah. Okay, if you're real, then I'm sorry. And if you're not real, I'm not sorry, but I need to wake up. I have to wake up.
Okay. Good morning. They wave.
She goes to wave, and then just in a moment, she just reaches out and gives you a hug. And then
they hug back.
Yeah. And then the pair of you just kind of come to. You kind of blink, and you're suddenly awake. The sun is coming through the window. Yeah.
Is anyone else awake yet?
It's up to them.
I like to believe that Sully's regimented like that, so he would be awake. But
up with the sun always.
Yeah, but I also don't want to be that guy that's I'm awake, every time. So, you know what I mean?
His old man bones are showing through.
Yeah.
Oh wait, we had separate rooms, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Then I guess Lark is wandering out into. I guess we have a hall, there's a
common area.
A common area. Yeah. They wander out, and they will if no one else is up yet, they're opening the window and taking out the compass again just to check where north is.
Seeker's probably waiting there.
Still north.
Out the window.
At the window?
No, at
Four stories high.
the common room. I'm probably. He said meet at sunrise.
Make a sanity.
Seeker took it literally.
Yeah, that's like a common area. You could have like snuck in really quietly, just be waiting for them. Like, that's fine.
You got past my chair.
Oh no, you can't walk in sneakily because Sully put a chair against the door, so you would get there, dunk.
He just waits outside the door and sits down on the floor, just sort of defeated.
I don't think Lark would open the door first thing, so they would definitely like wait for the others to wake up, and in the meantime definitely just check their compass, like make sure that using the knowledge that Sully has imparted on them to figure out where north is, and checking back with the compass.
Yeah, you can absolutely do that. Absolutely do that.
Is it north?
Yes, it is, for the moment at least, still pointing north.
Okay.
For the moment, at least, it still points north. I like that.
What?
Yeah, I like the phrasing. For the moment, at least, it still points north. There's something about that phrasing while talking about a compass. It's like kind of ominous.
Oh yeah.
So I like it. Yeah, I think it wouldn't be long before if Lark's moving around outside that Sully would get out. Do we have access to coffee?
No.
Fudge.
The moment Sully steps out the door, Lark basically like hops up to him and is like, "It's a bracelet with a note on it. A note? I don't know what that means. A notebook? She said a note. Musical note? I don't know what that means. And you got nothing for the 9th birthday. You weren't there.
You rat bastard."
How do you know that?
I asked her.
In your dream?
Yeah. She asked. She said, she still doesn't believe that I'm real or that I really knew you. She probably thinks it's just a memory seeping through. But she said, if you're real, if you're not just part of the hallucination or dream that she's having, she asked if you could tell her something that only her dad would have known.
Okay. Sully goes back into his room and he comes out with a pipe and a matchbook, like a book of matches, and he goes to the window, throws it open, and he's gonna like set up a pipe and he starts smoking on it.
Lark just hopped up to you before coffee and threw a bunch of stuff at you.
He takes like a couple of like deep breaths and blows the smoke out the window every time.
Responsible smoker.
Lark.
Yeah. Sorry, is this too early?
Sorry, I'm genuinely, I'm having a crisis of conscience of how Sully's gonna deal with this information. I hadn't thought it would be this difficult. I'm gonna give you one fair warning. Only once. If this is some kind of a trick, if this is some kind of a lie, if you're part of a group that doesn't like me, that is messing with me, I do not usually look for revenge. But I would.
So you also don't believe me. You also don't believe that I'm telling the truth.
I hate that you know this. Nobody should know this. And that concerns me.
I hated that I was going into this place in my dreams. It's not something I chose. But meeting Bree is the only highlight of going to that place. I like her, and She's one of the only few people I've met there ever. That place over there is horrible. I don't like going there. But meeting up with Bree is nice. It's at least I'm not alone there, you know? I'm telling you truth. You don't have to believe me. And there was more that she told me. But if you're going to be like this, I'm not going to tell you.
You can see what the fuck do you call it when somebody's been like played, like they insulted. Yes, insulted I think is the phrase. Like you can see an insulted look on Sully's face. It's just I'm sorry, Lark. It's hard for me to accept the idea that Bree is doing magic, or, sorry, you told me this yesterday, that magic is happening to her. And from what you've described, this is not a pleasurable experience, and as such, it's even worse for me to accept. What you're telling me is a lot of things I don't want to hear, and it may be a little bit difficult for me to accept them, on top of the idea that, well, a lot of things going on. So, fine, you've heard my one warning, so let's operate from the idea that you are telling the truth. What did Bree tell you?
She told me where she is, and well, she basically asked me also, told me to ask you if going on the assumption that both me and you are real, to tell her something that only her father would know. And she told me that even if I tell you where she is right now, to ask you not to come there.
Why?
Because she told her father that you died.
Why? I'm sorry, Lark. You're not Bree. You're not the one I'm mad at right now.
She said it seemed like a good idea at the time. I didn't ask too deeply. I didn't ask more on that. We only have limited amount of time when we're over there.
So he's stifling words as he's thinking of them, and then just takes another puff of the pipe. Okay. I am faced with a very difficult situation right now, Lark. If I tell you something that only I and Revan know, then that can be used against Revan to trick him. That's if this whole thing is a lie. But if you're telling the truth, I can tell you this thing, and then Bree can maybe tell you exactly where she is.
You don't have to tell me any big secrets. You can tell me something like, where does he have a birthmark on his back that no one knows of? It can be something simple. You don't need to tell me any big secrets.
The point still stands. It could be used to trick him. Sully said, come here, do this. He said you would know what this means. You know what I mean?
They're trying to wrap their head around it, but I don't think they're catching on.
Doesn't matter. I'll think of something good.
I just want to make Bree understand that I am real. She thinks that I am not real, that I'm also just a figment of her imagination.
Oh. I'm sorry. I'll get you... Something that only the two of us would know.
A place you went to in your childhood together? A promise you made to each other?
Tell Bree that when her father was about 22 and he had just started working at the science part of the collective, he had invited me to come see his lab. And I may have shown up less than respectful. And I broke a machine. I think he called it a microscope or a telescope or something like that. He hid it for me. Said that another guy probably did it. I found the guy, and I tried my best to make up for what had happened without revealing what had exactly happened. But he eventually got moved bases. Maybe because of the broken machine, maybe because he wanted to go somewhere else. I didn't know him well enough.
Okay. All right, I will tell her.
Try to get her to tell you where they are. Tell her that I have a Carrick particle.
Okay.
Tell her that her father's research wasn't a dead end. And that we can figure this out.
All right, I will tell her.
Thank you.
Well, she told me roughly where they are. They're in the mountains in the south.
They're looking bit vague.
Huh?
That's a bit vague.
They said that, she said they were looking for a lab, and there were many robots in that area.
Sully looks around for Ralph.
Ralph could be literally wherever Ralph wants to be.
Beep boop.
Are you a silly robot from the south?
I'm a robot from the south. No, yeah. I'm around. Ralph is waking. He's a morning person, so he's been around. But yeah,
Okay.
y'all immediately got into it, and so
Sully starts tapping up the pipe, trying to clean it out. Ralph, does that sound like something you know of?
would I be able to know what that is?
Yeah, being that Ot has Appleson stamped on his ass, basically, you know where the location or the headquarters for that place is, and that is if you need spares for Ot or for anything you have, you would have to find out exactly where this place is, but you know it's a place called the Orange Valley. And you know that it is in the south near a range of mountains, yeah.
It sounds like where my friend here came from. Pat's the drone.
Oh.
In the little LED screen, which is still installed, you get a little smiley face.
Oh.
Oh. Does the place have a name?
The place where these were made is down south, so maybe that's the same place.
Would Sully know about Orange Valley?
Yeah, I'm gonna say that. Yeah, you probably never ranged that far yourself, but you definitely know people who've ranged down there, and it is quite a dangerous place. It is dangerous. It's overrun with very bizarre plants, even for sprouting range.
Mm-hmm.
You've heard rumors that there are definitely robots there. Anyone who gets close enough to their headquarters, they either get yeeted or never heard from again.
Mm-hmm.
You've never heard anyone successfully managing to raid the Orange Valley. Yeah, you've definitely heard of it. And now that Ralph is kind of pointing at Ot, talking about robots, it's kind of beginning to click.
Do you think they're going to Appleseed headquarters? The Appleseed headquarters? Their main warehouse thing?
It sounds like the place. There's not anywhere where there's an abundance of these? I mean, they're around, but not where you would see, like, you know, more than one or two of them in one setting. If there's a lot of them, it sounds like that's where they are. And if they manage to get a spare, I would certainly appreciate never having to go there for parts. He kind of looks at his drone that you know he's very protective over.
It flashes up like durability left in all the parts, and they're somewhere in like the 80s. But like one of the propeller fins or whatever it is, one of the fans, like internal fans, is down at like 42%. Like I probably do with the replacement.
That's a long journey. Okay, Lark, if you could ask Bree about that.
If they are going to an Orange Valley?
Yeah.
Okay, I will ask.
Thank you.
And if they could get one of those drones out of there, it'd be extremely valuable to me. I would owe them quite a bit.
Sully, didn't you say that the ocean is in that direction? Would be?
It's a bit more southwest-ish, but it's in that general direction.
Well, Bree asked you not to go there, but if you do go there, can I come with you?
Of course. Much rather you travel with me than alone.
Okay. I can give Bree messages for you.
Sounds like Bree is mad at me. I'll knock some sense into her when I see her next.
I don't think she needs beating. I think she needs sleep.
You think she's not getting enough? You think she's not getting enough sleep, like you?
Well, yeah. It is quite straining being in that place and while you're trying to sleep.
You said Roland taught you like a thing, right?
Yeah.
Could you teach that to Bree?
No. I think that's something you can only learn when you're out here.
No, if we went to see Bree after I knocked some sense into the girl, could you teach her how to do this thing?
Could I, V? Is that something easily not easily, but like teachable?
It's not easily teachable, and you've probably been learning from Roland for a couple of months now, and like you're pretty good at it, but there are still nights when like even if you try it, you're screwed. Like you could definitely like teach her, but it is definitely like a slightly above average student teaching someone who has no idea. So it's like it could take time, but you could teach it to her, but it would be very slow. But yeah, you could.
And also Roland was in the last stream, so yeah, even he hasn't mastered it apparently.
Or he's choosing to dream.
It's I can try, but even I'm not very good at it yet. I mean, last night I chose to dream, so I could ask her about the gift, but the night before was more or less an accident. It's not perfect, but I think she would at least get more sleep if she tried than not.
And we should try that. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
All right.
It's what I wanted to do anyway. If I like, even if you didn't want to go, if you chose not to go there, I would like to go there and just to prove to her that I'm real, and then show her the exercises. Maybe bring Roland. He's much better at it than I am.
Yeah, but you don't really bring Roland anywhere. He kind of just pops up.
No, yeah.
All right, let's go find our weird friend Henry. It's a little bit past sunrise. He's a bit late.
Yeah, you can open the door and Seeker is sitting on the floor with what?
2 cups. Well, they're both empty at this point because they were getting cold, and he's just been waiting.
Definitely smell like coffee.
Oh.
You guys are finally awake. You guys had sunrise. We agreed. We had a deal. I brought coffee. Then I got thirsty and it got cold. I'm sorry. I was also really bored.
Oh. All right.
You could have knocked.
I kind of did. I
You
don't know if you
failed.
saw my failed unarmed versus normal.
I saw that.
That was about.
That's good.
Failed his knocking roll.
Oh, that's amazing. Did you ever do that thing as a kid when you were sent to like other classrooms by the teacher where you have to go knock, but you were too nervous to knock? You were just like, God, fuck it.
That's exactly what I was thinking. It's like, yeah, I knocked. You just didn't hear it. But yeah, here's a mug. And I give him the mug.
It's refillable.
With the aroma of coffee in your nostrils, even though you don't have it, you guys can start making your way downstairs.
Hey everybody, and thank you for listening to episode 8 of The Sprouting. Yeah, now that the team is together, and I think I know that there are some adventures on the road now, and I'm so excited for you guys to get to hear them. I want to thank you. I want to start by thanking our patrons, and in particular, I would like to thank the patrons who are in the name tier, and that would be Ascardo, who gave us the name Lindrik, with 2 Ks. It's Peregrine, who gave us the name Aaron and Joe Bananas. There's Twiglets Are Great, who gave us the name Terran Hell and Quiller. There's Flapjack Fever, who gave us the name Dell, and Peregrine for the name Grave Moss. Now, some of these have not come up yet, and may not for a while, actually, but I actually recognized at least 2 of those as quite important characters that come up later, so thank you guys so much for giving us awesome names and help us make the world feel more fleshed out and amazing. Talking about making the world feel fleshed out and amazing, I want to thank Kane. Sorry, I had it written down. I'm so bad at this. I want to thank Chris Kane for giving us the voice of Ash. You absolutely nailed it. Thank you so fucking much. Yeah, that's it. Stick around and listen to our ad for Dungeons and Dragons, a shockingly good podcast that is actually, they're cool guys. Check them out. Cheers.
Oh, hey, friends, it's me, your Dungeon Master, Russ Moore. You don't know me, but I'm going to introduce you to Dungeons and Dragons, where I play D&D with my friends, and they're going to become your friends because you're going to love us so much. I mean, maybe you won't love us, but we'll love you. And we just started Season 3, which means it's the perfect place to start with us. Let me give you a taste of the show in 42 seconds. Let's go!
You must have a flask?
He's got a satchel.
That's the most disappointed way I've ever heard anyone say the word satchel. How much is a donkey cost?
Russ, how much is a donkey cost?
The question everyone wants to know.
For 1 hour.
It's concentration, so if you do another concentration spell...
It's abjuration, you doink.
It's concentration.
I mean, that sounds like exactly the sort of person you should probably tell your friends about. The kind that are there and say, like, weird, mysterious things and then just disappear?
Yeah, that's why I'm telling you.
Okay.
Also, he had 3 eyes.
Oh!
We're having this rager. I mean, Lich Astley and the Magic Missiles is going to be playing later tonight. Find out why Dungeons and Dragons has been downloaded more than 1 million times. Start listening to Season 3 today, anywhere fine podcasts are found, or at dumbdragons.com.